Hi, I'm Katie and I'm with the Force team at Keller Williams. And today I'm going to share with you some of the reasons that people don't like living in Babcock Ranch. I think as somebody who lives and works in Babcock Ranch, I'm a great resource for you for what do people complain about? What do people not like about Babcock Ranch? We aren't for everybody. And so here's a few things that maybe the insiders aren't going to tell you, and I will. So one thing that I would say people don't like about Babcock Ranch is the wildlife. We actually are out in the middle of nowhere. We are right by the preserve, and there's a lot of wildlife. We have a black bear that lives back in the preserve and takes a visit to some of the neighborhoods. We have snakes. We have cane toads, which are poisonous to your dogs. We have the Florida panther lives in the preserve. Nobody's seen it, but it's like 165 pounds, and it's the largest ever recorded. We also have alligators, and a lot of them. We have turtles and birds and all kinds of great wildlife. There's wild boars back in the preserve as well. So you get a little bit of everything in Babcock Ranch, and not everybody is comfortable with that, especially if they come from the city. Another thing that some people don't like about Babcock Ranch is that it's an HOA. In fact, we have two HOAs. We have the HOA for the master HOA for all of Babcock Ranch, which gives you access to lots of amenities and events and things like that. And then we also have local, hyper-local HOAs for each subdivision. So when you have to get something approved, because if you're going to make a change to your house, it has to be approved by the HOA, you will have to submit to two HOAs to get approval. So is that a pain? Yep. But do you want your neighborhood to look nice? Because it does. That's one of the complaints. The other thing about the HOA is it's strict. They want you to follow the rules. So if you're not a person who likes to follow rules, you might not like living in an HOA. So I would highly recommend that you take a look at the rules and make sure that you're good with them before you move into Babcock Ranch, because there's a few people that are voicing concerns and don't like to be held to the rules. So that's one thing you'll hear about complaints in Babcock Ranch. The third thing I would suggest is that if you're a commuter and you're going to commute into Fort Myers, Naples, Bonita Springs, you're going to have a commute. It's going to be 40 minutes to an hour. And when the snowbirds roll into town, it can be longer. And when they roll out, everybody's glad because the commute gets easier. I personally commute right into Fort Myers every single day, and it takes me about 40 minutes from Babcock Ranch. If this is a problem for you, you probably don't want to commute from Babcock Ranch. They're currently widening 31. It will be larger. There will be 4 lanes going through there, and so it will be a better commute in the future, but they're still building that right now, and it's not done. If you live in the back part of Babcock Ranch, you're going to have to commute farther because it's going to take you 15 or 20 minutes just to get out to 31 so that you can do your commute. These are things to take into consideration when you're selecting your home. If commuting is something you still want to do from Babcock Ranch, I personally chose Northridge because it's easy on, easy off to get to 31. So I just roll into Babcock right off of 31, get to my house within just like a minute or two. So if that's important to you, make sure you take that into consideration. Some of the things that people complain about as well are the kids. So we are a community of both families and retirees. The average age in Babcock Ranch is like right around 55. So we have a lot of retired people, but we also have families with kids who ride bikes and don't follow rules and all of those things. So if that's a problem for you and you don't want to be around kids, you could select our 55 plus community back in the back of Babcock Ranch. It's called the Regency, and it's the 55 and over only. So you could spend a lot of time inside that community and never really come in contact with many of those kids. But personally, if you like a mixed community with different age ranges, it makes it a lot of fun. The kids are always playing, running around in the parks. They're at Founders Square for music in the park and just enjoying life. And it's pretty fun to see the kids growing up in that environment. Another thing that you might not like is when 31, traffic-wise, when 31 has an accident, it's brutal. The commute just is unbelievable because people crash on 31. Can you believe it? In Florida, we have cars crashing. And so it will impact your commute. And some people get really frustrated with that. If they have an event at the Civic Center right down the road, you got to plan around that because it is going to cause traffic issues trying to get back into Babcock Ranch. When the road's done, it'll get better. And another thing that people don't like is maybe we don't have everything easy access. So we have Marshalls, we have food, we have grocery stores, we have a lot of things, but we don't have all things. So if you don't like a 25-minute ride into Fort Myers to get to some of the other stores like Home Depot and things like that, you want to take that into consideration. We've learned to work around it. We are a one-car household. My husband uses the golf cart to get all over Babcock Ranch, goes to the grocery store, goes to Marshall's, goes to Ace Hardware, and does all that on the golf cart, so that when I'm at work, we're not worried about having a second car. So those are just a few things that people complain about in Babcock Ranch. As a local realtor and somebody who lives in Babcock Ranch, I'm happy to share any other things with you that you might have questions about. Just reach out. And once again, my name is Katie Force-White with Keller Williams, and my number is 586-747-5698. Yes, I'm a Michigander that moved from Michigan to Florida, and I can help with that. Have a great day.